Hello, this is Charlene, and I'm here today to interview Erin Spreen. And Erin is going to talk about OnPassive, where it's going, and where it's been, and where it's going, and why she's involved. And we will introduce Erin in just a moment. I'm going to hang on, get your pencil and paper, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back with Erin, and I'm going to briefly introduce Erin to you, and then I'm going to let her do most of the talking. But Erin has been experienced in network marketing and direct sales for 24 years. That's a long time, Erin. So she knows this business pretty much inside and out. She has a business with her husband, Darcy, and she has 2 active girls. Her background and passion are management and both in finance, floral industry, and professional hairstyling. Erin, I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you said that you liked volunteering and that you have won many awards. And I want you to tell us about those.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Charlene, for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's such a awesome opportunity to come and talk to your audience. And I'm just this girl from Alberta, Canada, on the western side of Canada. But like you mentioned, yes, I have been in the industry for 24 years. It's always easy to remember how many years I've been in, because it's the year that my husband and I got married. So that makes it easier. Yeah. And and we have 2 wonderful girls. One is almost 20 and the other is 16. So we have one last child in grown young woman in high school, and getting through these tragic times of being in high school, through these crazy times. And the pandemic has definitely affected her, but that's okay. We'll muscle through everything and get through everything, and thank God they have a mother that keeps extremely positive. and due to that's my background being in the industry. I come from retail management background. I started in hairdressing and became a professional hairstylist, and then it kind of led into florist work, and then that led into retail management of the floral industry and giftware and stuff, and did that for several years and enjoyed that. But that was also about the time that I actually got into team building in network marketing, and I was in direct sales for several years when the kids were little, getting out and getting together with the moms and having night outs and doing the home parties and stuff like that, right? That was doing a few trade shows. But then about 2009, 2011 is when I got really into building teams, and then getting into my passion of finding traits about myself, right? And the personal development, and went through a personal development journey, and found out that we all have amazing gifts in our lives that we need to, echo out to the world, and you never know who you're going to inspire. And that brings to me my background of who I grew up with parents, especially my mother. She was a municipal politician. She started in the school board for 8.5 years. Then she went into town council. She was the mayor of our town, our small town of 2,500 people. It was a small little town, but we did a lot of volunteering. I put my jacket and my boots on multiple times, did lots of huge different volunteering of organizations, community organizations in our small town. And I grew up watching my mother serve the community. So I knew that was in my blood. I just didn't know what direction it was going to go in. And I think that was when it all kind of happened, when I started building teams, and then it just led into, over the years, as I'm building teams. And like you mentioned, I have got a lot of different awards, and I've had so many different mentors in my journey, in my path. Always stayed, connected to everybody. Never got disconnected, because I believe in everybody in our industry. And I'm such an advocate for our industry. It's an opportunity for so many people that are struggling and not really knowing what they're supposed to do in life. And unfortunately, we're all grown to, get out of college or high school and go to college and university. Well, not everybody is meant for college and university. There's a great opportunity of entrepreneurship right out there. So that being said, I, earned a lot of, heck, my father-in-law passed away 7 years ago. In a period of, I think it was 6 weeks, I hit like 5 pin ranks, and I was doing 3-way calls, like literally on the hospital bed, right? Like on the chair right beside him, and just stayed driven no matter what's happening in our lives. Right. Mm-hmm. And then, about 6 years ago, I joined a company, the last project I was involved with. And I really dug into the next level of leadership. And that was due to being part of some incredible mentors, and really getting into the depth of personal development. Once I got that level of personal development, it took me to the next level of leadership. And I got a Rising Star Award. I've earned trips. I've earned the cars, the bonuses. I've traveled a few different places on the trips, and got leadership awards. But it's not about me. It's about the community, right? And about 3 years, well, I guess we're in 2021 now, but in 2017, and I knew something was going to change in my journey, that I was going to create a community, because I understood from my experience how I felt I was belonging to something. I was doing my purpose in my life, right? We all have a purpose, no matter what. Even if people don't think that they have a purpose, you have a gift, you have a story, you're here for a reason. And that was when I founded Team Hope, and it has just been worldwide. Like, it is incredible that I can serve to others and give them hope in crazy times that we're living in. I mean, this is historical times that we're living in. I never thought in my lifetime that we'd be living with historical times, but it's okay, because when you're connected to a community, a tribe, whatever you want to call it, it's incredible what can come along with, right? And and that's what it's all about. So yeah, it's very enjoyable, and I get up every day and I say, who am I going to touch today, right? Like, who am I going to impact? And it's not about me, it's about them, right? Because trust me, 10 years ago, you would not see me on stages. You would not see me organizing massive conferences and conventions. And I live, just so you understand, and your audience understands, I live 2 hours away from Edmonton, Alberta. So I don't even live in a major center, a major city. Yeah. And I was pre-organizing, setting up massive conferences with keynote speakers, all the volunteers, setting everything up and everything. And but that's what I love, because that's what I grew up with, right? So it's in a different aspect. So hopefully that answers your question, a whole bunch of the different questions.
That's awesome. You've got a really strong background, and you definitely have the ability to help a lot of people, and you do. I know one of the current things that you're in is something called OnPassive. Can you tell us about what OnPassive is, maybe what their mission is, their goals, why you got into it, where it's going, and maybe just an update on it?
Absolutely. So your second question is saying, you asked me why I got into OnPassive, and that kind of leads from my journey through my leadership, being a leader in Team Hope, into my team in Team Hope community, is I understood that not everybody is a people's person, right? Yet they have traits that they just don't know. But I come from hairdressing, I come from florist. What is that? That's people. That's a people industry. You're sitting people in your chair, cutting their hair. You're talking to them. You're getting to know who they are, get to know what their next holiday is, or what project they're working on, etc. Same thing as florist. You get to know when they're getting married, or who's passed away, or or whose birthday, anniversary. Exactly. You're getting to know people. So I knew it came to me very easily for me to build teams worldwide. And I have had teams all around the world, up to 60 different countries. But I will tell you, is not everybody's quite there yet. So I was always looking for certain tools to help people, especially in the era of the decades of the 2020, right? We are in the technology era compared to 10 years ago when I started building teams, or 12 years ago when I started building teams. So I understood that I was specifically looking for something that it was all underneath one umbrella. And I was blessed that I had a very close friend, which was a business partner of mine as well, literally contacted me and said, and this is like through craziness this past summer in 2020, when everybody was still trying to figure out what the heck's going on in the world, right? Let's just be real. But I knew that a friend had the heart to call me up or send me a message on WhatsApp and said, hey, I need to have a conversation with you. We need to look at this. When I seen that short 2-minute video of the digital marketing tools of OnPassive, I could not believe my eyes. I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for my people in my community, because not everybody is an Erin, because we're all individually, we all have different traits and strengths and gifts to give to the world, but this would help them, right? Because yeah, I can, as a leader, I can train them and stuff like that, but it's all up to the individual if they choose to actually do what I did, right? Whereas if I can give them a tool and it's a lot more easier, I could not believe my eyes. So when I found out about OnPassive and the opportunity of becoming a founder of the company, of an AI company, now remember, yes, I come from direct sales and network marketing industry. But once I realized and understood the history of this company, it's not registered as an MLM company. And I was already currently with another opportunity too, actually, at the period of time, because that's any successful person has multiple income streams, hands down. Don't ever, I mean, it's up to you to listen or not, because I've been down that road, not just you, but to your audience, that I was told several years ago, you only got to do one to be successful. Well, yeah, but once you start understanding and getting to know individual successful people, they have multiple income streams. That, let's just be clear, right? So when I found that I could use these incredible tools to help anybody, whether they're a brick and mortar business, whether they're a franchise or a corporation, a nonprofit organization, charities, entrepreneur, even these self-employed entrepreneurs that maybe had a hobby, a crafting hobby, and now because they've been unemployed from the world economic downturn in the pandemic that we're living in, they can now turn this into a opportunity of income, right? They can turn it into a small business. So once I understood the opportunity of OnPassive to come in as a founder, and for individuals to use these tools that is non-competitive to whatever you're currently using. I mean, heck, we have CEOs and network marketing companies that have come into our company as a founder because they see the opportunity. So I was just over the moon. I literally, I was working a full-time job, unfortunately, because my husband was unemployed, and it was easier for me, even though I had a residual income coming from my other projects. It was easier for me to go to work because he worked in oil and gas, and we know what has happened. I mean, it's history now, right? So I had to do what I had to do, right? So I did it, and I was just so excited to really, roll up my sleeves and start being the message of the message, be the messenger of the message, and just share it. And it's been the most easiest thing to share. Like, honestly, I have individuals have come on board as a founder that's never sponsored anybody, enrolled anybody in their other projects, and they're blowing it out of the water because they understand what it is. And what happens with OnPassive as a founder, it gets within ourselves. And you cannot talk to people without, like, even going out for coffee or going to, the grocery store, the local grocery store. You're talking to people because you know what you have in your hands to help their current projects that they're working on. And that's what I love about it. So.
Right. It sounds like a great opportunity. So what is a founder? How does the founder positions work in OnPassive? You said something about a founder.
Yeah, so a founder is, and I've been part of other projects where I was a founder of other opportunities as well. Founders, but with OnPassive, It's an IT company with artificial intelligence attached to all the products. They have over 50 products. They have about a dozen standalone products that could be standalone businesses on their own, but it's all underneath one umbrella. And what happens is, to explain, is it's easier to understand that a lot of people know, like there's a current, up here in Canada, there's a current grocery store that you can be a member to it and you get a dividend, right? That's what a founder position is. So this company is a private company, although the OnPassive IT company has not publicly launched to the world. So you can't go on to well, you can go online, you can see a website and everything's set up, it's all legit and everything, it's all registered. But the thing of it is it's not, people can't use the products, right? We're literally at the very beginning of the soft launch. And what the purpose of the soft launch is when the company is testing all the products with the AI to make sure everything's coherent and everything's working correctly, because we have a massive office in Hyderabad, India, tech city. It's actually one of the biggest tech cities of the world. And there's just under 1,000, I think just around 800 employees now working out of that office. And that's where all the magic happens. That's the IT people, the programmers of all the of the whole company. And that's where everything is. So the thing of it is you get the opportunity to tap into the revenue, the profits of the company. So the company, when it goes public to the world, meaning it's not going to be a public owned company, it's going to be a private owned company. It will never go public. So a public company is when people can go buy shares on the stock market, right? Here, you can't. You have to be a founder to be able to be part of that. So some people will come in and they'll just be a founder. They will not share the message. They just want to be a founder and step into the founder position, and that is fine. Then there's others that will go out and really share the message. So it's up to you as an individual.
Yeah, and founders will have benefits whether they share or not. To some extent, yes. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So basically, if someone wanted to find out more information, how would they do that?
So to find out more information is actually, you can contact Charlene directly, because of course that's why we met, right? So you can contact her and she can get you the information, the link, and look at it and get more in-depth information. Trust me, I'm an analytical person. I'm very, very analytical, and I think that's because the person who I grew up from, my mother. So I took it some time to look at it, but it only took me 2 hours to understand how huge this opportunity is. This is part of the solution of the world right now, guys, for your audience. And understand that. It's a very special time of this world. And to understand that he is already, Mr. Ashmafar, he's the CEO and the founder of the company. He's got a massive regulatory team across the world, a legal team that is making sure we have zero corruption, and it's all going to be safe and everything. And that's why it's taking a little more time due to some of the world events, but that's okay, because it's going to be safe to launch to the world for the public to use the products when it's supposed to launch. So, which is just literally around the corner now.
Yeah, the CEO Ash, he talked about the company Tech's being in India, but he's actually in Florida and has an office there too. So it really is in the United States. But it's an
American company. Yeah, it's an American company, but his background, he's from India originally. Like he was born there, and then they came over as a young kid, and he has a Harvard University of e-commerce and business, and he's a visionary. He's very, very unique individual, and the more you get to know him, when you join as a founder, you actually become part of the inner circle. And we have private weekly meetings, and they're not the typical 1 hour meetings. They're like a board meeting, but virtual, because we can't all be together right now. We know that circumstance. And, they're 3 to 5 hour long meetings, but they're very intense meetings, good tense meetings of knowing what's happening behind the scenes. So absolutely.
And then too, OnPassive, and especially the CEO Ash, has a heart for helping people out of poverty and helping people just live better lives. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So he comes from networking industry, the network marketing industry. I don't think he ever did direct sales, but he did network marketing and he did cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So just so your audience knows that he does come from that background as well. But he also knew that 97% of the people in that industry does not make more than $500 a month, unfortunately. And or less, exactly, or less. And he got tired of him being on the stage making the millions of dollars, the big dollars. He wanted that. And that's why he took the opportunity to attach the founder position to the opportunity to OnPassive prior to the company launches. So when the company launches publicly in the hard launch, public launch, however you want to say the words, some people say hard, some people say public, I will tell you that there will be no more founder positions. So you want to jump in right now. You want to lock your position as a founder. It's a very small amount. Yeah. It's not thousands of dollars, just so you know. But what he's done is once we become full in our fill our cup and we're taking care of our personal family and our needs and our wants and stuff, we can give back. And one of the products is called OBless. And OBless is incredible product where we can go and put up our charity or our mission or whatever we want up into the OBless product section. And there's 535,000 founders right now can go and donate. It's kind of like GoMeFund, but it's way more better, the features of it. But that's what he's all about, is changing the world. It's all about AI with heart, and it's all about the humanity. And we're already changing the world. I mean, we're already open in 212 countries, and we're at 535,000 founders around the world, and we haven't even launched to the world. We're massively changing. I mean, when you become a founder and you're on these inner circle webinars multiple times during the week, you can be on these different webinars from different countries, and you listen to people's stories and what's happened in their life. It's dramatically changed. The humanitarian movement has happened already, and that's what he believes in. Yeah.
One of the things that has launched lately has been the Academy. Can you talk just a little bit about that? I thought that was very interesting, not only as an opportunity for people to share what they know, but for people to learn. Can you talk just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we are going through a phase right now where it's basically called alpha testing. So we're just like right around the corner of soft launch testing. And alpha testing is when he's going to be announcing all the different products. And one of the first product that's been announced and very detailed with all the product managers, the IT department out of Hyderabad City, we got to meet them around the table and them explaining everything, is Academy. So it's not Academy, it's Academy. And Academy is online learning system, basically a portal where professors, teachers, art teachers, piano teachers, mechanic teachers, anybody, entrepreneurs, anybody can go on there and specifically look at to be either a customer of a program, right? Because there's going to be a good portion, like a good chunk of programs available, like, you can get a certificate and stuff like that. Or you can get professors from universities, colleges and stuff come on there, and they're going to have all the proper tools to teach their students. It could be anything, a teacher, a lawyer, or whatever, right? Whatever the professor is. And, they could have their day job. They could be a teacher in a K-12 school, and then they come home and they're going to do their teaching online, because we've seen it already with the pandemic, how many schools around the world in the different countries have been shut down, right? And all our kids are learning online. Unfortunately, because there's no products out there that really helps the teachers or professors of that level having all the different tools that they need to properly teach. They're struggling. So this is a massive solution to the world. And we already know certain other countries around the world, not in the United States or Canada. We're actually behind the 8 ball basically, but India, China, Europe, they're already doing e-learning on a massive scale. So this is the new normal, I guess you could say, right?
Right.
We already see so many people working from home, right?
Mm-hmm.
They now they realize they don't have to have an office in a big building, and that employer having, you know, the overhead. Now they can send them home and they can do all their work from home, right? So we're in a massive transition right now.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great opportunity for trainers, entrepreneurs to share. They can put up their videos and share their messages. And apparently what I've heard is that your video, your message, when you're speaking whatever on this site, can be translated into other languages. So you don't have to speak Italian to Italians to hear it.
Exactly.
So you got a global audience, and you can charge for those, or you can do some free ones to attract people. They'll use artificial intelligence to attract people to you. It's a really neat thing. Really neat thing.
Yeah, and when we got introduced to this, when Ash dropped this first product out to us, we just found out just this past week that this was only phase 1. There's 2 more phases of Academy. So it's very exciting because we were all blown away by the first phase. We say, what the heck? What else does he have up his sleeve, right? But again, that's the bonus of being a founder, being behind the scenes and learning about all this before it goes to millions and billions of people around the world. Because there's like 5 billion people using the internet around the world.
Yeah. And I think Mike this morning, I watched a video. He mentioned something about one of the products being staff, which is maybe, or he thinks it's an HR product, and that's going to be really big too. So
staff is for all the HR products for HR products for the HR staffs across the world in different corporations and different businesses. Yeah, it's huge.
Yep. So it'll be awesome. Well, Erin, I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate your time. I know the audience is loving what you're saying, and just keep us updated and let us know what's going on.
Absolutely. I really appreciate for yourself inviting me on. And it's so much fun, and I love your show. And yeah, absolutely. Hey, all I say is education is free. Find out more information from this amazing woman here, and individual around the, you know, she's here for a purpose in life too. And it's been a journey. That's all I can say. It's been a fun journey.
Well, we appreciate it, and we'll let you go, and you have a blessed day.
You too. Talk to you.
Bye-bye.